Good evening and welcome to the Financial Week. I'm Javon Keys. Now, Jamaicans spent more on imports during the first 5 months of this year. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin says total spending on goods coming into the country during the January to May period amounted to $3 billion. When compared to the same period in 2021, the total spend on goods coming in increased by 34%. This was driven by a 56% rise in the cost of fuels and lubricants. The price of raw materials was up 28%, while the cost of consumer goods increased by 35.9%. Meanwhile, Jamaica earned less from exports for the first 5 months of this year. Statin says total earnings from goods going out of the country was $641.4 million. This represents a 2.8% decline compared with $660 million earned the same period last year. Now, Statin says the lower earnings were primarily driven by a 59% reduction in the value of fuel products exported from Jamaica. Pawn shop operators Cashwiz opened its 6th store in Jamaica. The shop in the Springs Halfway Tree is part of the company's expansion strategy. By the end of 2022, Cashwiz is set to open 2 additional stores. The company currently has another location at State Mall, Halfway Tree Road in the corporate area, as well as in Portmore, Montego Bay, Mandeville, and Maypen. Cashwiz also operates across the Caribbean in 10 regional markets. To some company news, Productive Business Solutions (PBS) has released the basis of allotment for its Jamaican and US dollar cumulative redeemable preference shares. In the general pool of Jamaican dollar shares, investors will receive the first 2,000 shares requested and 74.67% of the remaining shares applied for. For those who requested US dollar shares, the first 3,000 units have been approved with an allotment of 37.2% of shares applied thereafter. Both categories of shares were oversubscribed. PBS chose to upsize its offer of Jamaican and US dollar cumulative redeemable preference shares. The company says 1.5 million US dollar shares have been offered, while 500,000 Jamaican dollar shares are to be deployed to the market. That's an additional 500,000 and 350,000 shares, respectively, compared to the prospectus. Lottery company Supreme Ventures Limited has changed the name of its subsidiary Prime Sports Jamaica to Supreme Ventures Gaming Limited. The company says its operations, leadership, and structure will remain unchanged. Supreme Ventures Gaming's name change comes days after receiving global certification for its mobile gaming platform. And to the latest currency trading, the US dollar is being sold for an average $152.74. $116.69 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar. The pound is going for an average $174.35, while it's costing $152.73 for the euro. The JSE index fell by 1,441 points today, while the junior market index gained 17 points. Among the winners were First Rock Real Estate Investments US dollar shares, JMB Group 7.25% shares, KLE Group, Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and Cygnus Credit Investments US dollar shares, while on the losing side were Iron Rock Insurance Company, JMB Group 7.35% cumulative redeemable preference shares, Main Event Entertainment Group, Sagicor Select Funds, and G-West Corporation. And that's it for the Financial Week. I'm Javon Keys. Good evening.